Hi, my yarny friends. My name is Crystal. I live with chronic illnesses and I love to crochet. I haven't been on here for a while, once again, partly because I haven't been feeling well and a little bit because I've been grieving a bit. Just many things I've been losing out on that I've had to let go, and they've been pretty painful and hard, and so I've been grieving. But I'm one to feel my emotions, let them be what they are, and then pick myself up and move forward. So I'm on here today. I have so much to show you because it's been so long. So this might be a long one. I only have 2 finished objects. That's it. Because, I haven't been doing great. And the pocket shawl took a long time. Thoroughly enjoyed it. And I have a lot of WIPS I've started. I have a yarn haul, a small one from Hobby Lobby, and a couple acquisitions. So I'm going to get started first off with finished objects. So my first one I'm going to show you is my pocket shawl, and I also will try to take a little clip of it with me wearing it so you could get a better idea of it, and I will insert it here if I'm able to do that. So isn't that cute if I inserted it? So here it is. This is my shawl. I used Jiminy Crickets. Let's see if I can pull up what I used for this. Darn it, because I forgot to bring the ball band. Well, shoot. Because I wanted to talk about the yarn. Sorry about that. I really wanted to talk about the yarn that I used for my pocket shawl. And Jiminy Crickets, I don't even have the name of the pattern I used. I will put the name right here of the pattern I used, and I will put a link in the description box below. So I used a Lion brand, A Touch of Alpaca. I got this on a really good sale on Lion brand, and I can't remember if it was, I don't know, maybe $5 or $10. It was some really, really good price, and I got a lot of it. I got, I think, 5 different colors because somebody mentioned how much they love this yarn. So, so my thoughts, my review of this Lion brand Touch of Alpaca. Because of the alpaca content in it, I find that it's scratchy on my neck. I would not wear, I bought enough to make sweaters. Yeah, because I want to make a whole bunch of sweaters in my lifetime. So I have like 5 colors with enough to make sweaters, and I don't find that it is soft enough for me or my husband to wear a sweater with it. It's just too scratchy. Now, for this pocket shawl, I love it. It's gorgeous, and it doesn't touch your skin enough to make a big difference. I find the yarn splits easily because the ply is pretty loose. I don't know if I can show, but it splits easily, so you can't go super fast when crocheting it. It has areas where there's just a chunk of color in it. You can see that chunk of pink right there, just sporadically here and there. I think it's gorgeous, worked up. It looks beautiful, but I think I'll probably end up destashing a lot of this Touch of Alpaca yarn because I have a lot of it, and I'm trying to pare down some of my yarns that I'm just not totally in love with. I will keep a couple because I really, really like it for a pocket shawl. But you know, how many pocket shawls can a girl make? And this is the third skein. So it took almost 3 full skeins of yarn to do this pocket shawl. This is 200 grams, 415 yards. Now it came out a little bit short. That is why at the bottom she doesn't call for this line across, but I had to do that to make it a little bit longer. But I have to say I kind of like it there, so when I make it again someday, I will actually probably add that to the bottom. The pattern, the only issue I had, it was an excellent pattern. I believe that you pay for the pattern. And she states it in it, which is fantastic. She used something like a 9mm crochet hook, and I had to go down pretty low. I can't remember. I want to say a 5.5 crochet hook to get the right gauge. And I'm glad I did, because I think it would be just crazy loose if I would have done her hook. But she mentioned that she is a tight crocheter. I guess I might be a loose or just normal. I'm not sure, because the yarn itself calls for a 5.5 crochet hook. So I needed to use exactly what this yarn called for. And I'm finding that to be true for me, that I need, you know what, I'm gonna put it on the ground. I need exactly what the yarn calls for. I'm finding that true for needles as well, and I'll go into that when I get into another one, another project that I started. So my only other finished object is I finished a hat. I knitted a hat. Look at this super cute hat. I love it. And this, you don't decrease, you cinch it up. So I really liked that. And once again, I forgot. I thought I was all prepared. I thought I was really good. I will put, it is a tutorial on YouTube, and I will put a link. I'll put the name of it right here, and I'll put a link to the tutorial in the description box below. Really liked the tutorial a lot. I can't remember if I used their correct crochet hook. Needles. Darn it. I did use circular, but now I don't remember the one. I'm not good, guys. I'm not good about taking notes or anything. I'm just surviving. I'm just surviving my day and doing whatever I can to get my mind off my body. So the yarn I use that is really super cute, it is called Noro. Look at this hank of yarn. Isn't that, I just love it. I love it. I really, really would like a sweater in this. It is 40% cotton, 30% silk, 15% wool. It calls for an 8mm knitting needle, or it doesn't tell you a crochet hook. It's 100 grams and 100 meters, and I had this much left over, and I didn't even get to, I would do it a different way next time for me, because I didn't get in it to any of this cute color. However, for my husband, and this is his hat, those are perfect colors for him. I think, look, a little purple was starting to come out. So, let me try it on for you. Whew. It's supposed to be like a slouchy hat. I think I might do a pom-pom with this. But the problem is I don't want to add this teal color to it. Maybe if I dig deeper. Oh, you know the reason why I had to do it the way I ended up doing it? There was a knot in it, and I didn't know how to attach new yarn in knitting. So I just wanted to knit all the way through without having to attach new yarn, but now I know how to do it. So very excited, but it's a cute hat, and I did it. This is my second knitted hat. Yay! See how my hair looks. Oh my gosh, guys, look at how long my hair is. I have never in my life had my hair this long. I normally get it cut and maybe layered a bit, but with my health, I just can't make it out to get a haircut. This isn't due to the coronavirus. This is me and my health. I probably get my hair cut once a year. If I'm really, really lucky, I get it cut twice a year. I haven't had my hair cut since my daughter-in-law cut it when I visited her last in January or February. Oh, February, because it was my husband's birthday. So February. So it's been quite some time. So loved this hat, loved knitting it, like it that you don't have to do any decreases and use double pointed needles for the decrease. Though I still like that as well, but it was fun to know how to do it that way. So that is it for my finished objects. Let's talk WIPS. Oh my goodness. I'm getting a little out of hand. We won't even talk about how many UFOs, unfinished objects, that I have in my bedroom or my yarn room. I have wanted so bad to show you guys how many I have and how out of hand it is, and how some of them are just wouldn't take me that long to finish them. But I got a little discouraged and I put it away, and really I need to finish them. So let's see where my WIPs are. So the first WIP I'm going to talk about is, this is going to be a long-term WIP. I wanted to make my the twin grandbabies. It's called a play road map. It is, I don't think I have the pattern written out, but it is a tutorial by, I don't have notes, but I will put in the name of the pattern and the tutorial here, and I will link it in the description box below. So she has, I think she may even on her website have the written patterns for all of them. So I have started I've decided to do 1 square a day. And if I do that, I will be done by Christmas. So my goal is to have this road play afghan done for Christmas, along with a couple cars, a few cars to go along with that. So I mapped it all out, what I would need for this map. This is like an intersection where you can go all these different ways. So I figured out how many of these I would need, and I believe I need 30. So I started that first because it was simple and easy, just to get me started. But the next, I'm going to do this center area here, and then I'm going to start working this way, this direction, and I think I'm going to start attaching them as I go. So I'm going to do this next. I will have, these will be done, and that's maybe how I'm going to do it. Just so I don't have to attach them all at the end, and I could attach them as I go. So I've had this yarn for a year, I think. I've wanted to do this for a long time, and I finally decided that the babies are going to be 2 in December, and I just better get busy because I want them to be able to play with it for as long as they can, because they're only going to have, probably want to play with it for, I don't know, 5-6 years or something like that until they outgrow it. So I have most of the yarn, let me grab this, that I need in this box or this bag. This is my yarn, and the one I have in the project bag is the 3 skeins I need to make the squares that I'm working on, the 30 squares that I'm working on. The yarn I'm using is mostly Caron 1 pound. I got this on sale for a really good price, like $4 a skein. So it makes it really affordable. The white, though, I'm using ice in Savor, and I find it is the same size because, you know, not all 4 weights or 3, they're not all equal, they're not all the same. So this makes it nice that I can just pick up my project bag that has the colors in it, and I do 1 a day, and I typically tie in my ends for that 1 a day, but I got a little bit behind because I got fixated on a different WIP, and so I've been catching up today on my 1 square, so I will also tie them all in today so I don't have a bazillion to do at the end and not want to finish my project. So that's going to be a super cute play mat when I'm done. So I keep saying so. Let me see if I can stop doing that. So my next WIP is, I wanted to knit another hat. So darn it, see, there I go again. I decided to try this hat, and I will put it in the description box below. It is a tutorial, and this is another one where I had to, they recommended a needle size, and I had to keep going down on my needle size until it was basically the needle that they recommended on the ball band. I just don't understand why people, like, the vast difference, like they're using 2 or 3 sizes bigger, but if I went any bigger, I mean, my stitches are already pretty loose, going down a lot. So I just don't understand. Are they super loose or tight knitters? Because I'm using what's recommended on the ball band. So I'm getting a little frustrated about the vast difference there is when it comes to trying to do a pattern that people are doing. And this one, the reason why I chose this hat, and I will put a picture of it, and I'll put the name and a link to the tutorial, is she has you just knit a whole bunch. Like, I'm going to be knitting like really long. I don't know if it's 18 inches, I can't remember. And then you fold it in half, and then you join it at the top and you cinch it. So you're going to have like an extra warm hat for the winter time. So I am making this for my husband, and I don't have the ball band for this hat. It is a red heart soft, but I don't remember the colorway in it. I don't know why it's not in my little bag. Well, phooey. So I have that WIP started. So that's 2 WIPs started. But this one's going to go on the back burner for a little bit because, so then another WIP I started. I am going through my yarn in my yarn room and trying to destash a little bit of it. Some of it I'm going to be giving to this group that crochets and knits afghans for retirement centers. That was something I really wanted to do, but I am too slow and too sick to do it. But I figure, well, at least I could donate some yarn, so then the yarn that I bought for that purpose will actually get knitted and crocheted for that purpose, and somebody will be blessed because of it. And then there's another place in Spokane. It's a retirement center, and the ladies there, they knit and crochet hats for low-income families. So I'm really excited to donate some yarn for that. So then I'll just have I'll touch more lives that way because I'm just too slow. So going through my yarn, because a lot of my nicer yarn is like squirreled away and tucked away in a container, and I would like some empty spots that I could put some of my nicer yarn in so I could see that as well. I still want a lot of the yarn that I have out, but I would like some of the nicer yarn out, and I would like some cubbies for my new hobbies, for my card making and my Jiminy Crickets, spinning a fiber to make yarn. So in doing that, I found these big Bernat Softy cakes that I bought purposely to make afghans for my home. 2 of them for my home. One of them, I don't know the purpose of it. I don't know if it was to give to my son. So they take a lot of room in those cubbies. So I thought, you know what? I'm just going to stop everything, and I'm going to, besides the play mat, because I'm only doing 1 a day, I'm going to whip up, yeah, right, this afghan, because I already had the pattern picked out for it too, and I've had this stuff for a year and a half. So I started crocheting this pattern right here. It is, I think, a free pattern. I'm not quite sure, but I will link it in the description box below. I've started this area right here, but I just thought it looked super cute. And it needs 5 cakes of this yarn, and that's what I have. So I'll be doing 2 of those. The third one, I don't know if I'll be doing it. So I've gotten this far with that strip. I think I have 20 more rows to go, and then I get a start on this section going this way, because right now I'm working this, now then the next part is that way. So I was really liking it. Yay, I have a stitch marker on there. CJ, look, I have the cute little teacup. So really liking it, loving this yarn a lot. This makes a squishy, soft blanket. Love it. Burnette Softy Chunky. Yeah, it's really softy. So, oh no! And I wonder if I'm using the right hook for this one. I am using a 9mm, and she called for a 10mm, and I didn't like how it looked. I thought it was too loose of a stitch, so I'm happy with the 9mm. I could have maybe gone down with the 8. I don't like my stitches to be too loose in crochet because it stretches. It stretches out, and then it becomes even looser. So, but I'm happy. It's good enough. I'm not going to rip out everything I did. Maybe my next one I'll do a 7mm, and then I can A/B it and see what I think. Because I know if you go too low, then it's not, the drape isn't as nice, and it's kind of dense and thick. So I was thinking, okay, Crystal, that's it. You're just going to stop the hat, still work on, because they're just 1 a day, those squares, and whip out this afghan to make room, and maybe we'll do the other one before I started Joy's shawl. Because remember I showed you the shawl, the pocket shawl I needed to make that has a bazillion bobble stitches? Well, I finally got the yarn in for that, and I'll show you the yarn I chose for her pocket shawl, but I figured, you know what, I just need to make room. I'm going to do these real quick. Well, then I went to Hobby Lobby, and I don't think, darn it, I was going to bring one of those balls over here, but I have some wound up. So I went to Hobby Lobby, and I got in my yarn haul, I'll show you, it's balled up, but I caked it up. I got this Arabella yarn that I love. I love it. It's gorgeous, it's beautiful, it's super soft. This colorway is called, oh no, Majestic Mauve. It is 100 grams, 55% cotton and 45% acrylic, and it is a 5 bulky, and I love it. I love it. And I got enough, I'm hoping, to make a sweater. And so I was like, man, I want to make this sweater so bad. Knit a sweater, right? I'm like, I've only made 2 knit hats and 2 wash rags. That's it. And 1 failed attempt at a cowl. And here I am wanting to knit a sweater. I am very ambitious or crazy or I don't know. But I looked at the tutorial. I found a tutorial I liked, and I was like, you know what? This is like a really big hat and going up, basically, and until you get to all the other parts of it, but that's what I told myself. But I watched the whole tutorial, and I was like, I think I can do it. So I'm like, okay, I'll have to wait, I need to be good and finish this. And then I was like, you know what? I just need to live in the moment. I need to do something that's going to bring me joy. I don't want to sit here and grudgingly do this blanket and lose out on the excitement of this new yarn and this pattern and trying to make myself a knitted sweater. So I was like, I'm going to just stop everything except for that the little squares, and I'm going to knit me a sweater because I struggle so much. I'm just going to do what brings me joy right now. So I found this sweater, this tutorial, and then she does a pattern. She has a written pattern for different sizes, and I will link it in the description box below. And I was like, I'm starting this sweater. Well, it hasn't been as fun as I thought it would be. Unfortunately, her pattern for different sizes is not correct. So, for example, so she does a size medium. So if you're going to follow her tutorial and it's a size medium, you're golden. But if you want to go up to a large, extra large, or so on and so forth, there are flaws in it right from the get-go. So I first started with the large, and she increased the large by 10, which fine, that sounds good, right? You increase it by 10. Well, the problem is, right in the beginning, your ribbing is a 2x2 knit, purl. That's how you get your ribbing. Well, if you just increase it by 10, that way, you don't end, you need to start with a knit and end with a purl. Well, when you increased it, she increased it to 10, you started with a knit and you ended it with a knit. And the problem with that is at that one section, you're going to have 4 knit rows, so it's going to look funny because you're going to have just 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, boom, 4. So, and first I thought I did all the way around, and I'm thinking, I messed up. I messed up somewhere. So I'm counting my knit, purl, counted it twice, 100 stitches, twice. I'm like, no, I'm right, I did it right. Then I'm like, surely I must be wrong. So then I'm like, what else did I write in there? Surely I did it wrong. So I wrote the whole thing out, and I was right. I ended on a knit. So because I had to change my hook size, needle sizes, and I'll go into that, I went up to the extra large, and for that number, I ended in the right, in a purl like I was supposed to. So I'm like, okay, that was frustrating, had to rip some stuff out. I'm okay. Well, then she has you use, let me see, a 9mm knitting needle, and I was dumb. I didn't do a gauge, so I had to rip it out again because a 9mm made it crazy, absurdly loose. So I rip it out, and I go down to a 6.5 to achieve gauge, and it still wasn't good enough. It was still way too loose. I saved some of it to show you. So this is what I was doing, and if you look, my stitches are just crazy loose in this ribbing. It's kind of hard to show it. So even achieved gauge, and it was still way too loose. So I went down to the size of knitting needles that the yarn calls for, which was quite frustrating. So this is my 4th time I cast on this sweater. but it is now looking correct. But there was other mistakes. So then, this is where I am so far. The ribbing looks correct. It's tight enough. This looks correct. It's not too loose and holey. So I'm doing it, guys. I'm doing it. I'm knitting. It kind of curls on you because it's a stockinette where I'm doing. So yeah, I only have to go 15 inches and then I'm not even close to being done. So then on her pattern, the other mistakes are she just adds 10 to everything, which it doesn't work out that way when you're doing increases. So I highly recommend, if you're a medium, following her tutorial. If you're not, and if you're new and you can't figure out the mistakes, I wouldn't do this pattern. But I'm sticking with it. I'm too far in. I've tried too many times, so hopefully it works out in the end. So that is my last WIP. Those are all the things that are currently on my hook. We won't talk about all the other bazillion ones that are packed away somewhere. So next I'm going to go into acquisitions. You know what? Well, I'm going to, first off, when I was going through my stuff, I had 2 bags on my Etsy shop. We went on vacation and I never put them back on my Etsy shop. So I don't know if anybody would be interested in this bag. This bag's for sale. This is an extra large pocket bag. It's just folded. It has this on the inside. It has a really big pocket. This is the one that fits, I call it my sweater bag. It fits a lot of skeins in here. It's cute owls. And it comes with, and that's just the line from it being folded. It has a matching zipper pouch. And it's just a swirly white material on the inside. Yes, this one does have my tab on it. And it just comes with a cute little stitch marker. So this guy is $50 plus shipping if anybody is interested in it. I won't be putting it on my Etsy shop. I probably might be closing down my Etsy shop. I only have one thing on it. Let me put this back in here. And then the other bag I have, a set, is, oh no, I have this. And if you're interested in it in the dimensions, you can email me and I will let you know what the dimensions are, and because I can't think of it off the top of my head, and it has a matching zipper pouch that just has cream on the inside. This set is $28 plus shipping. Very cute. Oh no. So I have PayPal or Venmo. Is it called Venmo? I've wanted to sew more, but my body has not let me. Oh my goodness, I'm at 32 minutes. You know what? Maybe I'll do a separate vlog for my Hobby Lobby yarn haul and my acquisitions. You know what? I'm going to do that. I'm going to end this now because it's crazy long, and separate the two and put the other one out in a couple days. I've never done that before. I'm going to try it. So I hope everybody is doing well. One last thing, if you're still here, My oldest son, Ray Jr., tested positive for the coronavirus a couple days ago. He is doing well. He just lost his sense of taste and smell. He's a little congested and has really bad headaches, but those are getting better. The babies and Joy are not positive for the coronavirus, so he is quarantined from them, but they were around him when he was symptomatic before they knew that he had it. So they still could, I mean, of course they're quarantined in their home, but he's quarantined in the bedroom. So if you could pray for him, I would appreciate it, and pray that Joy and the babies do not get it. Elijah's fighting. They thought he had a crazy high fever, took him to the ER, but he has ear infection. So they gave him antibiotics, but he was negative for the coronavirus. So yeah, so I would really, really appreciate your prayers on that. And if you're here, been here this long, I appreciate it. I thank you so much. I think that's it. I will talk to you guys all later. Bye.